Hey guys, it's Tom. I just wanted to say a quick hello and tell you a little bit about how I went about this. First, though, I wanted to say that this song has been a favorite of mine for, as long as I can remember. It's just a beautiful song, and every time I listen to it, I think about, all the family in New York. I think it speaks to my musical sense because I think I've always had a lot in common musically with uh, the Desimones, and I think that maybe goes without saying, but that's just something I could always relate to, sort of the musical choices of it, the arrangements, the places that it goes, and the harmonies. Obviously, I'm attached to it because it's got the playing and the singing of some of my most special people. So that always it feels like giving my ears a hug when I listen to it. So anyway, but I've always enjoyed singing along with it when I would listen. So I figured maybe someday I could try and do my own version of it. So that's what I did. Uh, Obviously, it doesn't compare to the original, but I really enjoyed it. I My process was that I transcribed it using my software that you can see here, and I'll walk you through that briefly because I don't need to get into the details. But I transcribed it by ear. I just started by listening to the piano part first, and there's a little bit of a synthesizer part, and I copied that, and then the bass line I could hear also, and then I put in some drums, and that's where as far as I got a few years ago, I started this actually, and then I kind of got intimidated. I felt like I bit off more than I could chew, but then I got inspired over the holidays to come back to this, and I just felt like there's no time like the present to do some of the things that you have always been meaning to do, and I didn't want this project to go unfinished. So that's when I decided to get brave, and I got out my horns, and I got out the microphone, and I decided to just go for it. I had the house to myself for a weekend, which made me brave enough to sing and not be too shy because no one else was around. Not that my family would ever judge me, by the way, but anyway. So yeah, so let's look at this. So this is arranged. This is my playlist. It's like the score, basically. The red line up here that represents the synthesizer part. The dark blue is the piano part. The bass is this sort of olive color. Then the drums are below that. Then the tuba is an audio recording. I recorded the tuba and the trumpet and the voices. Everything else I arranged via computer. I programmed via computer instruments. So that's how that went. And then the purple here is the trumpet solo. Down here in the teal colors, those are the voices. And what I did is, so it's three-part harmony. I did two takes for, well, I did a lot more than two takes, but I kept two takes from each part. So over here these are the first two verses, and then the chorus is when the harmonies come in. You could see where that stacks. So I have six. I'm singing six times here, two times per harmony. So, and then Mark is working on this green section that's for him with his trombones. He's going to add that in. I just wanted to get this video done while I had a chance to, but I will be adding in Mark's parts also. So anyway, I could play through this a little bit so you can see it. Let's see, maybe I could spread these out a little bit so you can see some of the notes. Okay, I keep having to redo this because I messed up the settings. Okay, so um, now that we're back and up and running, um, just to play some samples. Uh, like I said, the red up at the top is a synthesizer part. The blue is the piano. Um, Sounds like this. I've always loved that part. I think Aunt Carol's playing is very tasteful and very nice, and gentle, but um, just enough complexity. It doesn't need any more than that. It's really great. So if I add in the bass and the drums, let's see where, just go somewhere in here. So those instruments, these top four instruments, the drums, bass, piano, and synth, I programmed in using the computer, the virtual instruments. I didn't play these. I just listened by ear and mapped them in here, sort of arranged it in the program. The other stuff that I did play would be the tuba part, the trumpet, and the singing. So that's sort of my contribution, in the real world rather than on the computer world. But see, what else can I say? I going down to the singing, the vocals, and the blue colors. I did it twice for each part. So there's 3-part harmonies when you get to the chorus. This is the first verse here. This is the second verse, and then here's a chorus where you add in. So I have 2 recordings per. So yeah, I sang everything twice. That's why you have 6 when there's in the chorus. And I did that because it makes it sound a little bit more full. I'm not a singer, and I think it makes me more comfortable feeling like I have somebody backing me up, even if it's just myself. So, and I think it makes it gives it a bit of a chorus sound, a little bit of reverb too. So anyway,
in the Sandia Mountains where the land meets the sky, about a mile above Albuquerque, there I stood looking down on that little tiny town, and I thought and it hurt me to see that something once so big can get so far away and small and hardly there at all.
we get to the chorus.
Oh, my love, will I ever get the million pieces back together again? Will I ever climb a mountain high enough to see my way to you again?
So I think that came out pretty well. I've always loved the harmonies. And I didn't really have to do a lot of retouching or anything. I did add a little bit of reverb and just some mixing, just basically bringing out the highs and the mixing in certain frequencies and stuff. But and then I think my other favorite part of the song is where the key changes in the second to the third chorus.
Together again? Will I ever climb a mountain high enough to see my way to you again?
So I'm proud of that. I think my high notes are not as strong as they once were when I was younger. So I'm glad I was able to get those notes at all. And they sound fine in the mix. They're a little squirrely if you listen to it up close by itself, but I think when they mix together, it blends fine. Another side note is when I listen to this now, um, I hear a little bit of in my voice. I hear a little bit of Grandpa in there, and Gijo, and I also hear a little bit of Aunt Carol and my dad. It's just interesting, even though I'm never really taken up singing, that there are certain natural tendencies and vocal timbres that are just built in. That's kind of cool. Um, Anyway, I don't really have anything else to say other than I just wanted to dedicate this to Aunt Carol and Aunt Steffi and Aunt Maggie. You guys have always been so wonderful, and just wanted to do something to show you how much I think about you and I love you. So I will talk to you later. Thanks for checking it out.